Hi everyone, my name is Tori, this is Novel Life, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a brand new vlog for you guys that I am so excited to actually get started and dive into the books that I have planned for this vlog, because it is going to be reading new releases. I picked 3 new releases, and those 3 were some of you guys' most anticipated releases for April specifically, so I'm very excited to finally dive into them, because they're also 3 of my most anticipated releases. So 2 of the books I'm going to read just came out yesterday on April 2nd. I'm starting this on April 3rd, and one of them is Only and Forever by Chloe Leese. Chloe Leese is one of my all-time favorite authors. She is a queen of just the representation of chronic illness, disability, mental health, neurodiverse conditions, anything like that. She is literally the queen of that. And the Bergman Brothers series completely changed my life. I've said that countless times. Frankie, which is the character in Always Only You by Chloe Leese, which is the 2nd book in the series, that book changed my life. She has RA, I have RA. I just saw myself so much in that book, as well as the anxiety rep in Ever After Always. Anyway, I could go on and on and on about this series, but this is the last book in the Bergman Brothers series. I'm very sad that this is ending, but this is, I think it's Vigo. I think it's Vigo. Someone told me I was pronouncing it wrong. Vigo and Tallulah. Vigo is the last Bergman brother, and Tallulah, I don't think we've met her before, but I'm very excited to dive into this one. The audio came in from my library on yesterday, actually. I was 5th in line, so I'm very happy I was able to get the audio, so I'll definitely be listening to this one. Berkeley actually sent me a finished copy for free because I'm on their influencer program, so I'm so grateful to have a copy of this book in my hands. But the other book that I'm going to be reading is one that's coming out on April 23rd, and that is A Funny Story by Emily Henry. So I feel like so many people have been waiting for this book. Emily Henry, I've read 2 books by her. I've read Book Lovers and I read Happy Place. I really liked both of them. They were both 4.5 stars for me. Perfect spring summery book. It has lightness, but it also has some heavy topics in it. So I'm very excited. I don't know anything about A Funny Story, but I do have the audiobook from Libro FM. So they have an influencer ALC program that every month, at the beginning of the month, they have a list of April releases, and one of those books is the audio for Funny Story, which I'm very excited for. I do have an e-arc of that too, because I'm on Berkeley's influencer program. They give them the option. They give us the option to download it from NetGalley, and I have that physically. So I don't know if I'm going to be, I'll probably switch back and forth from the audio to ebook. And the last book that I'm going to read also came out on April 2nd, which is the one I'm currently reading right now, and that is Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I have heard already people posting that they are loving this book, and I was also 6th in line for the audiobook, so I'm very happy it came in from my library. I'm currently 24% into this book, and it's cute. I am intrigued. I love that Zachary Weber is narrating this book, because Zachary Weber narrated Yours Truly, and I feel like that changed the experience of reading. Now, me being 24% in, it's cute. It has me giggling at times. The whole premise is our female and male characters. I forgot their names. I'm blanking on their names. But basically, when they date someone and they break up, most of the time, all the times, it's been on mutually good terms. They go their separate ways, and then the next person they date has been their happily ever after, forever person. So it's interesting the way that works. So now they're she sees a Reddit post, or her friend sees a Reddit post of him talking about this, and she reaches out, who's wow, this happens to me too, interesting. It's they kind of start chatting online a little bit, getting to know each other, and it's cute and it's funny. It's very millennial, Gen Z, that's what we do, that's how we normally meet people, and I think that's so funny that she's putting that into a book. But I will say that both of the characters have some family stuff going on, so it's interesting that we're just now diving into that within 25% of the book. But also, she's a travel nurse, which I find so interesting, because I've never read a book about a travel nurse, but travel nurses, 1, make a lot of money, but 2, it can be extremely hard because you don't have a place to land. You don't have a true home unless you have someone at home waiting for you. So yeah, she's just traveling, and they decide for, I think, 6 weeks, they go to Minnesota where he is, and he's oh my god, let's meet up. And he plans plans this like first date type thing, and it's like he gives her all of these questions, and it's super cute. It's very detailed. Like, he's a very detail oriented person, and it's adorable. So far I'm liking it, but I'm interested to see where it's gonna go. They have this plan. It's like a tentative plan where they like date, the like fake date. They're like, okay, well, theoretically, if this is our streak, then if we date each other and we part after X amount of time, then we'll meet our like forever person after, right? Obviously, they're gonna have their HEA together at the end of this book, so I'm very excited to see how it plays out. But like I said, 25% in. I'm gonna update you later. I have to go grocery shopping and I have to get some work done, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pop in my headphones and I'm gonna listen to the audiobook. I'm very excited. I'm very excited for all 3 of these books. I think they're all gonna be bangers. I'm very excited. So you can let me know which one you're most excited for. Which one do you think I'm gonna like the most? Drop it in the comments right now, and we'll see at the end of the vlog which one I like more. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. Hi. So I just finished Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, and I'm about to hop on a live show with my patrons, so let me get my laptop all logged in. But so I updated you at 25%, and I will say Abby Jimenez really does know how to make very like emotional books. So I personally love the conflict of he is living his life. His mother has made mistakes, and he has to now care for his brothers and sisters that are younger. And she is also a travel nurse, and there's a reason why she's a travel nurse. She has some like trauma from her childhood that definitely comes up in this book. And it's like very angsty in a way that you have these 2 characters that are really just going through life. Their life stuff is happening to them, and they're going through it, and they are struggling with that. And honestly, shit happens. Like, shit happens. And no matter how they feel about each other, they can't really do anything about it. Now, I sometimes get really frustrated with Abby Jimenez's heroines. And I know, you know, as a romance genre, we always say, oh, we're really hard on heroines. And I think that's very true. For me, prickly heroines have to have kind of like a, at the end of the book, kind of like be redeemed. So she said some things out of her own like trauma that she was going through with her mother. She didn't want to stay in a certain place. She wouldn't allow herself to love people because of eczema, like because of all the trauma that she's been through. And that's really dived into a lot in this book. And she said some things to him at the moment that from his point of view, it hits him and it hurts. And I was like, I hate it. I love her heroes because they're very soft, they're very emotional, they're very open emotionally. Not every hero in romance is like that, you know, like I like them for their own reasons. But this one, I think I'm gonna land at like a solid 4-star in Goodreads, but I think I'm gonna actually rate it 4.5 stars. So I really hate that Goodreads doesn't allow you to do half stars. You have to like put it in the comments. It's a solid 4.5 star read, 4.5 star. I feel the same way as I did with Yours Truly. And if I'm being really honest, I think I rated Yours Truly a 5, but gave it 4.5, like it was that kind of book. But this was a solid read. I really liked the development of the characters. I really liked, and I related to both of them in separate ways. I really liked how Abby Jimenez handled the trauma with our female character, and just that push and pull of life. You know what I mean? Like, things come up. You know, you meet the right person, but it's the wrong time. You meet the right person, but all these other things that come, you know, some people might say baggage, but they come with all of these extra things. Like, he has, you know, X amount of kids that he has to take care of because his mom is going through some stuff, and she is dealing with a lot with, you know, things that are coming out about her childhood that, you know, has scarred her, and she kind of hid it and suppressed, but now it's all coming back out again. So she had to really go through it. And there also was a time jump that I don't particularly like, time jumps specifically at the end when the conflict is there, because you don't see the character work it out. You know what I mean? It's just like everything happens, you figure out what they have to go through. They, you know, at this point it's like a conflict to where it's a 3rd act breakup, and it's for a good reason. And then all of a sudden, like, it's 6 months later, and you're seeing what she did over the 6 months and what he did over the 6 months. And I personally just like to see it. That might be a personal thing, but it is a solid 4.5 star read. I enjoyed the audiobook. I'll tell you this, Zachary Weber, no matter what book he narrates, I will read. He did Yours Truly fantastically. He did this book. He just puts so much emotion into his books that I feel like some other male narrators don't always do. and I personally enjoyed it. He's a rock star and I love him so freaking much. So I don't know if I'm gonna start Only and Forever by Chloe Leese. I have the physical book over there, that's why I'm looking over there. Or if I'm gonna start the other audiobook, The Funny Story by Emily Henry. I don't know which one I'm gonna start. I'm gonna break up the contemporary. So yeah, I will talk to you when I get a little bit into one book or the other, and I'll let you know my thoughts. But that's the update I have. So far this vlog is going good with new releases and some of my most anticipated releases of the year. Hi, I'm here to give you a little update on Only and Forever. Okay, so I am listening to the audiobook because I got that from my library, and I'm about 6 chapters in, so it's like 20% into the book. I'm not very far. I will tell you right now, seeing all the Bergmans together at the beginning of this book, like every book that we've read, you know, we introduce not only another Bergman brother or sister, but we also introduce their significant other, right? This family aspect of the Bergmans and how they just bring in every person's significant other is just, I love it. I love it so much. I think that seeing them all together at the A-frame at the beginning of this book and having, it is pronounced Vigo, figured that out, having Vigo like feel this sense of I don't have anyone but my whole other family does, like the rest of my family has a person and I want a person. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that you're going through life and you don't have a person, you don't have someone that you can be like, this is my person, this is the one I'm gonna share my life with, you know, share all of the exciting things with. And I am someone that's very fortunate that I've had my husband in my life since I was 17 years old. We got married 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. We've been together for now almost 13 years, and he's always been my person. And not everyone can find their person so young. Like if you think about it, Will and Ryder, the first book in this Bergman Brothers series, they found each other in college. And that even nowadays is so just like not normal for people to stick through it. So like I feel like Vigo and what he's going through is very relatable to a lot of people in their 20s and maybe even into their 30s now. Of like, I want a person and I want just someone to share life with. And it makes me sad. Like, I'm happy for everyone around me, but at the same time, it makes me sad that I don't have like a person to share everything with, right? Like, he could share it with his brothers and sisters, but it's not the same. In steps Tallulah. So Tallulah is actually the sister of Charlie, and Charlie is Ziggy's friend. That's who it was. I was trying to think of the name. Ziggy's best friend. So, you know, he's known Tallulah. She had a class with him. And I find it interesting that they like he's kept like a secret from his family. He wants to open up a bookshop. He wants to open up a romance bookshop. So he's doing that. You see, and now chapter 6, it's their soft opening. And she shows up after not talking to him for a year. And she is a thriller author, which I find very interesting. So it was like they met at the A-frame. They had a moment. I mean, they went to college together, they had a couple classes, but they didn't really talk. He just had this like unrequited crush on her, Tallulah. And now he sees her, and then they have this like really interesting chat in the morning, and then a year goes by and he sees her again at his soft opening. So I think that's where everything's gonna kick in. Now personally, I know that Tallulah within that year has gone through some things because she talked about that. I just wish I would have seen that on page, but I understand, I mean, how long it is. I understand that she had to like kind of go through it. Obviously, she's probably going to talk to Vigo about that, but I am thinking this is super cute. I mean, I'm just really eating this up. I love the Bergmans. Like, I feel like I'm biased, but like, I don't know a person out there who has read any of the Bergman Brothers series and just is like, yeah, they're okay. The Bergmans are okay. They are an amazing family. Even the mom and the dad. Like, I need Chloe Leese to write like the mom and dad story because I would love to know. Anyway, that's my update. I'm gonna pop in the audiobook for the rest of the day while I cook, while I do a whole bunch of things. And yeah. Hi, Missy girl. Did you come to see me? Hi. You smell so good because you just got groomed. I just picked them up from getting groomed. Come here. Come here. You want to say hi? Come here. Hi, girl. Hi. Anyway, Missy and I are going to, oh, girl, we're going to go listen to more and read along of more of Only and Forever, which I'm very excited about.
Totally random, not sure if anyone really cares. But I recently got some goodies that I opened and was kind of using from Ulta, and I wanted to show you. So the first one is this. So I talked about this in a first quarter favorites. I talked about this brand, but I got this cleansing balm because I've always used this one. So I got another one because I was out, just in case I didn't like this one. But honestly, they work almost exactly the same. I feel like this gets my mascara off maybe just a little bit better than the e.l.f. one, but this is $10. I think this is like $12 or whatever, but I'm pretty sure this has cleaner ingredients. It's a Korean brand, so if you're looking for like a little bit more expensive, but not too much more expensive, with just better ingredients, check out this cleansing balm. It really gets all my makeup. Also, I am a huge fan of the Power Grip, what is it called? Primer. And I got this. You can see it, I just shook it, but it has like oil in it, so you have to just shake it for it to like actually spray perfectly. I am liking it. I have oily skin though, and sometimes this kind of like makes it oily faster compared to the other setting spray I have, but totally random. And then I got these lippies from ColourPop. So these are the So Juicy. They're like plumping stuff. I got 2 of them in a berry color and more of like a pinky color. And then they do come with 2 lip liners. Well, it didn't come, I had to buy them, but I wanted to buy these lip liners. I actually saw someone on TikTok say that the lip liners were more tingly and plumping than this. And that's actually true. These tingle more than this, but I like the combination. So if you see me in recent videos wearing whatever I'm wearing on my lips, it's these 2. Oh, so it's like a nude color, and then I got a darker color. But that's just random stuff that I got that I wanted to show you. Not sure if anyone cares, but there you go.
Hello, I have a little bit of an update. I have finished a book, and I'm excited to chat about it. It is Only in Forever, the last Bergman Brothers book. I'm actually very sad. I love the Bergman Brothers. I love the Bergman family. They're brothers and sisters. I ended up giving this book 4 stars. I thought it was super cute, super adorable. It's a good like wrap up to the series. Now, I think I previously said in a clip, like, Vigo, he's trying to like kind of get his life together. He wants to open up this bookstore, yada yada yada. He also wants to find someone to share his life with. He always talks about how all of his siblings have someone now and he doesn't have someone. And in steps Tallulah, she's a thriller writer. I think it's really cute. I think that if you are someone who are a fan of like rom-com movies, if you love like if you loved Ren Bergman, Vigo reminds me so much of Ren, of how just like soft and swoon-worthy he is, and how much he reads historical romance and how he loves it so much. I think, like I said, if you're a fan of Ren Bergman, which is he's the hero from one of my favorite Bergman books, then I think you would love this book. I listened to the audio is great. Tallulah's adorable. I love the ending. It was just a sweet wrap-up. But like I said, Always Only You, which is the second book, is like my all-time favorite book. And Ever After Always, just because the RA rep and the anxiety rep in those 2 books are just so good. But I think that obviously if you want to like wrap up the Bergman Brothers series, definitely pick up this one. It is a little bittersweet that it's ending, but I think that Chloe Leese changed the romance game with this series, and I personally love that. So I'm a huge fan of this. So I did want to give an update because I am 7 chapters into Funny Story by Emily Henry. I'm having the best time with Funny Story though. So within the first 7 chapters, it really sets up the book perfectly, I think. It literally sets it up in a way that it's like, oh, my fiance went on a bachelor party, went to his bachelor party, you know, hung out with the guys. He comes back, breaks up with me, because he finds out he's in love with his best friend, who's been around for forever. But now she's just like, I love you. And he was like, you know what, I love you too. I have to break up my marriage, or like my upcoming wedding. And so he's like, here, I need you to like move out of the house because she's gonna move in. And she's like, where the fuck am I supposed to? It was so funny. She was literally like, where the fuck am I supposed to go? And she like throws stuff at him. It honestly made me giggle. It really did make me giggle. And she moves into the apartment of the girl, his best friend, her fiance who broke it off, the girl that he's with now, his best friend. She was dating Miles, I think that's his name, but he was dating our hero. So now, like, the two that had an affair are off, and the two, like, that were broken up are now living in the same apartment. And of course, like, they're both heartbroken. He's heartbroken. He's dealing with it in different ways. And I'm finding it so funny because not only does he work at a winery, I'm pretty sure he's the bartender. I stopped the audiobook at the part where, like, her and her friend go to the winery that he works at. And the way that the narrator, I think it's Julia Whalen, she does such a good job, like, making, like, humor, like, dry humor come across. So he's like, she was like, oh, I just thought you sat in the house all day and just, like, smoked weed or whatever. And he was like, no, I work at the winery. Like, what did you, or he mentioned something about working. And she's like, where do you work? And he's like, the winery I always talk about? Like, what did you think I did all day? And she's like, I really thought you just laid around and smoked weed. Like, I didn't know you worked. And it was really funny. But that weed part is mostly just, like, him being, like, you know, wallowing and having been broken up or whatever. And so they decide, because their exes that are now getting married sent them an invitation, and they had, like, one drunken night where they were just, like, wallowing in all of this stuff, and they're like, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna go and we're gonna RSVP to that wedding. So they RSVP separately because they both got an invitation. And so her ex calls her and was like, you don't technically have to come. I know how hard it's gonna be for you, blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, I'm coming. And I have a date. And he's like, well, you didn't RSVP. And she's like, it's Miles. He's like, you're dating Miles? And she's like, yeah. What about it? What are you gonna say? What are you gonna talk about? What is it? And I thought that was hilarious. I literally, like, I'm laughing out loud as I'm listening to this book, so I'm very excited. I have good vibes with this book. Good freaking vibes. Anyway, that was a long update. I am going to probably update you when I finish this book. I have 5 hours left of the audio. I'm listening at 1.8 speed. I may speed it up or whatever, but I like to start off slow, so, like, while I'm working, I like to get a better understanding of all the characters and stuff like that and really what's going on. That's all I have for this update. I will see you when I finish Funny Story, and I am, fingers crossed, I'm hoping it's going to be a really good book. Like a 5-star vibes good book. That's what I'm hoping for. Hi, sweet girl. Hi. Hi. What? Where's your ball? Where's your ball? Hey, I have an update for you guys. I'm actually here to close out this vlog. Today was just like a self-care day. And Misi's playing with her toy behind me. I'm so sorry. Today was just a self-care day, okay? I took myself to go get my nails done, which you guys saw. I am in love with, like, the pink chrome. I got them done for a polycon, so I just really wanted to do, like, a fun color. I don't know. I had the idea of purple going into the salon, but then I saw this pink and I was like, wow, this is very Barbie pink. Let's add chrome on top of it. So love it. Now, I made the mistake of finishing Funny Story in the salon. And I say finishing because I had like 2 hours left of the audiobook. And I thought, okay, it's not going to be too bad. Like, it's not going to be too bad. We will finish it. It's going to be a great book. I thought it was going to be like a 4-star, like a solid 4-star read. And then I got to the end of the book, the last like 2.5 hours. And I started to tear up. I legitimately started to tear up while she was doing my nails. And I was like, I can't cry in the nail salon right now. I cannot cry in this nail salon. And I really think it has a couple of like reasons why I feel like I started to tear up, because then when I got home, I laid down, like I was taking a nap, like that's why I barely have any makeup on or whatever. Like I said, it was a self-care day, okay? And I wanted to just relax. And so I put the audiobook on and I just laid in my bed and I was listening to the story and I was just tears. Little tears started falling. And I was like, what is happening right now? What is happening right now, okay? Because I was not expecting to cry. And I'll tell you, I think it's the way really that Emily Henry wrote these two characters. So obviously, like I said, these two characters, they're now exes, broke up with each other to go be together. So now they're roommates, you know, and they were going to do the fake dating thing at the wedding. And, you know, they had a moment at the wedding where or like a party or something like that happened. And they had their exes there, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna kiss you. And she was just,
she was like, oh, we decided feelings are not going to be involved, but I am like starting to have feelings and I'm flipping out. So she runs. Now they both have things that happen in their life. They both have like past trauma, I shouldn't say trauma as in like really bad trauma. I mean, it is, but it's more just like things that have been like traveled from childhood into their adult life with how they handle things. You know, like he panics whenever someone, you know, feelings get involved, like he doesn't trust himself to make the right decision, like he wants to care for these people. So like he's scared to like love her and let those feelings come out because he's like, what if I fuck it up, basically? And she's like, you know, she's actually figuring out a lot that she wants out of this life because she's been with her ex and she had this like picture perfect life of what she thought she wanted. And when he like, you know, called it off, obviously she was hurt, but now looking at it, she's like, wow, I actually want different things. And being with him makes me want things that are exciting and, you know, that basically challenges me. And I always say this, and I think this is why it made me tear up, because that's the part I started to tear up and like cry in my bed. The part in the salon was when he was talking about his past with his parents and how he feels. And I was like, oh my God, I'm connected to these characters. And I think I've always said this with a partner, be with someone who challenges you in the way that you think, in like a good way, obviously, but like the way that your thought process is, the way that you want to see the world, like that, you know, that challenges you to just be a better person, like be the best you that you can be. And I've always said this, that like in the last 13 years I've been with my husband, he's really challenged me to step out of my comfort zone. I am someone who I like things a certain way, and I like things to be orderly, and I like things to be like a place for everything. And he's spontaneous. He will be like, let's go on this trip in like a week. Let's do it. Why not? And I'm like, oh my God, but plans. And he's like, no plans, let's go. And I'm like, but plans. Like buying a house was so stressful because I was like planning, and he's like, no, once we find the right one, we got to do it. And this is our house that we bought. So he's always challenged me to be like the best person in situations. He'll call me out if I'm wrong. He'll call me, you know, he'll tell me I'm proud of you for doing this and like taking the step out of your comfort zone and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just be with someone that really just challenges you. And she's like, he does that for me because she likes everything orderly. She wants like, she had everything for her life in order, and it was going to be like the boring life that she thought, you know, she was going to have. And now being with him, he's spontaneous. And she was like, he makes me want to travel and just go on this whim of a trip and all this stuff like that. And I was like, I love that. Like I always say that to any of my friends, like be with someone who like just like is the other half to you, like the other half of like, not the complete opposite. I don't want to say like the complete opposite, but like that challenges you in any way. You know what I mean? And I love that. I love this book. It was a 5-star read. I also could have read it at like the perfect time. I've just been having really good reads in April. I mean, just for the summer was a 4.5. Chloe Lease was a 4-star, and that was the end of an era. And I felt so sad. Funny Story was 5 stars. And I did get to read actually Wild Love early by Elsie Silver. I went to pick this up at Target. I actually placed like a pickup order. My husband picked it up for me on release day, but I had an ALC of this book, and I wanted to throw it in here because I vlogged my thoughts on this book for my Patreon going up at the end of the month. So if you want to join my Patreon to see all my thoughts, I'm reading this and A Fate Inked in Blood because that's the two that they picked for me. So I want to save, I didn't want to vlog it because it was for my patrons, but I will say that this was a 5-star read. I saw a review on Goodreads. This is not my own like thing. If Reckless and Heartless had a baby, it would be Wild Love. And that is perfect because those are two of my favorite books. And I'm like, Ford Grant is like everything that I want. This is another book where the two characters challenge each other in different ways. Their banter is amazing. The audiobook was absolutely amazing. The audiobook for Funny Story was absolutely amazing. Julia Wayland did Funny Story and it was amazing. Zachary Weber and Vanessa Irwin, I think her name is, they both did Wild Love, and it was fantastic. But now my nails match and I love that. I mean, I didn't mean to do that, but it just so happened. But this is the slowest of slow burn. It doesn't have as much angst. I would say like angsty. Funny Story is more angsty, and I think that's also why I loved it. Like now I'm in the mood for like angsty books. So like I want all the slow burn and angst because oh my God, it was amazing. Like there was not a miscommunication, but it was like not miscommunication. It was just like they were figuring things out at like the same time, but they wanted to be together, but that's not what they needed to be. So overall, this vlog was Absolutely amazing. I am so excited that, you know, I'm so excited for you guys to pick this book. So if you haven't, I know Abby Jimenez just got the New York Times bestseller. I think she's like ebook and paperback. She's #1, which I'm like, you deserve it. Chloe Leese, it was the end of a Bergman series, The Era, and she just announced her next book. I'm so excited for everyone to read Funny Story on the 23rd. I really want everyone to pick it up. I think that if you are on the border, I don't know if Emily Henry's for me. She is. Pick up this book and it will be. I loved this book. It was so good. 5 stars. I read it and it was like, oh, right in the heart, right in the heart. Anyway, that is all I have for this video. For the emoji, what kind of emoji? Drop me a blue heart emoji, because Funny Story has a blue cover. Drop me a blue heart in the comments down below. I was gonna say pink, but I always do a pink heart. So drop me a blue heart in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you liked and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.